Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. I'm Bushka, and today we're going to be having a look at the Dp28, the dinner plate 28, the double penetration 28, the directionally challenged panda 28. I don't know whatever you want to call it. Hell of a gun, and a very interesting weapon, and a weapon that it's a surprise not more people run. But it is a victim of what I'd like to call min-maxing. Now, I'm going to talk to you about the numbers of the gun. I'm going to talk to you about what it does well, what it struggles with, and I want to really talk to you about a few of the broader concepts of the game. So let's get right to it before I lose your attention forever. What does it do well? Well, obviously, if you're watching the clips at all, you'd realize the gun fires with pretty much no recoil. It's ridiculous. And that means that you can let it spray on full auto and it will absolutely just sit there riding all over the target. I mean, and if you squeeze off little 3-round bursts, like, get wrecked. And the shells do exactly the same damage as a Groza or an AKMs, which is great. Watch this. Watch it. Just tracking that target. That's so gorgeous. Let's watch this again, because this is exactly why a lot of really, really good players run this gun. Watch it. Watch it track up on full auto with a round that does 47 damage base to a no armor-wearing chest area. So why don't more players run it? I'll tell you why. The Dp28 fires very, very slowly. What do I mean by that? Well, the AKM, for instance, the AKM fires around, and it's the slowest of all the ARs. The AKM fires around every 0.105 seconds. A standard 5.56 AR, and they all fire at exactly the same rate, is 0.085 seconds. The Barrel M762 fires at exactly the same speed as a 5.56 AR, but does 2 less damage than an AKM or a Dp28 or a Groza. What that means is if you are using this in close proximity, like in those fights, you are going to take big damage. And if someone's running a Barrel M762 or a Groza or an AKM, and you both press the button at the same time, you'll come second. Like, that's the reason the Dp28 can get a lot of bad press. So what you need to do then is run a primary weapon that's just a pure shredder. Like, run a barrel in your primary slot and then run this in your secondary slot. Now, that's if you want to maximize things out. And this is where we run into the issue. People love to min-max and people love to snipe. And if you're running a Kar 98 and this, and you get into a gunfight with someone with a Barrel M762, well, you'll come second. That said, this is the whole reason min-maxing isn't an absolute science, because you can make allowances. I find it funny for someone like me, and it's ironic, who spends so much time doing the numbers and running the numbers and finding the things that are the best at doing this particular thing, that I also just adjust my playstyle to whatever I've got. So if I've got a Dp28, I'll try and take all my engagements at mid-range. Because at mid-range, this thing is absolutely incredible. The ability of this gun to not ride up on a target when you're firing at mid-range is something else altogether. Now, you've got to get used to leading the target, because it is a 7.62 AR style weapon, and that means it's going to have a slow shell velocity. And this is when I first started doing the review for the Dp28. You can see how I'm just not leading the target enough. I'm leading it like a 5.56 AR. And because of that, I mean, it's not the recoil that's killing me. It's the fact that I'm just not giving it enough of a lead. And it's really frustrating. You've got to learn how to fire the weapon. Secondly, it has 47 rounds in the clip. And that means that the reload time is absolutely insane. One of the things that you'll find if you've been running an M416, I mean, look at the way it just sits on the target. If you've been running an M416 forever, you have this tendency to fire around and then immediately reload. Immediately reload, because, hey, that's what we do. We fire the round, we reload the gun. I mean, look at the way it just hits everything. You fire the round, you reload the gun. You've got 47 rounds, dude. Just half your rounds is you know, you're sitting there with over 20 in a clip, no problems whatsoever, and you'll still reach for the reload button. That's a bot, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to sit it down and keep it on the target. So the problem a lot of people have is they want to run a barrel, and then they want to run a Kar 98